Good Wednesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window and what a difference a day makes out there. It looks beautiful and it was beautiful today, but much cooler and windier out there today after once again a very crazy night last night with lightning, wind, and some downpours of rain. Started a few fires. We'll talk more about that coming up throughout our newscast, but all in all, a beautiful late July day with blue skies as we look down from our Billings Heights cross camera. And thank you to Sky5 for providing that camera and that beautiful shot of the Wenatchee Valley. Talked about what a difference a day makes and a temperature change. What a difference from yesterday. Wenatchee, we are at least 10 degrees below our 93-degree temperature yesterday. And boy, that's the case all over north central Washington, going all the way over to Spokane. 15 degrees cooler there, 11 degrees cooler up in Omak, and even you folks in Moses Lake, about 11 degrees cooler than you were yesterday. But a warm-up will be back on by the end of the week, and we'll talk much more about that coming up a little bit later on in your weather forecast. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. 7 people were injured in a 2-car collision Monday about 15 miles south of Ephrata. For the second time in less than a week, a traffic warning sign was struck by a vehicle on Interstate 90 near Moses Lake. And the executive director at the Center for Alcohol and Drug Treatment in Wenatchee will speak on putting the health epidemic and opioid crisis into perspective. But first, we begin tonight. Firefighters in Chelan and Douglas County responded to at least a dozen new lightning-sparked wildfires over the last 2 days. Brant Stanger with the Central Washington Interagency Command Center at Pangbourne Airport says most of the fires were quickly contained.
6 fires up in Chelan. Most of those have been taken care of. We do have a couple fires up lake with the jumpers on them. We should be able to pull those folks off today, and those fires should be in good shape. We have several fires up in the wilderness. We're looking at those and making some decisions on them at this point, what kind of resources to put on them. Other than that, everything else is looking pretty good. We've put most of our fires in patrol status. The only large fire we do have is out by Daroga State Park, just above it, in the Browns Canyon area. It's about 350 acres. We've got about 6 engines on it and a couple of crews, and we're going to fly aircraft heavy on it this morning and see what we can do with it.
Today we saw cooler temperatures, but with gusty winds and low humidity prompting concerns about possible new fire starts from the recent storms. 30 small wildfires are also burning on national forest lands. Officials report crews are currently staffing wildfire from the Methow Valley all the way to Natchez, with all wildfires currently being under a half acre in size. The only exception is the left-hand fire. It's located 32 miles northwest of Yakima, which is currently 10 acres in size. Aerial reconnaissance will also be utilized over the coming days to detect wildfires in remote backcountry and wilderness areas. Well, 7 people were injured in a 2-car collision Monday about 15 miles south of Ephrata. The Grant County Sheriff's Office said Carmelita Trejo Munoz of Pasco failed to stop at a stop sign that was at South Frontage Road West and Dodson Road South. Her 2014 Honda Civic collided with the 2001 Honda Accord, and that was being driven by Maria Campos Nunez of Moses Lake. Trejo Munoz was taken by life flight to Central Washington Hospital, where she was lifted in stable condition Wednesday. 4 passengers in her car were also injured, the most severely being Esmeralda Magana Barragan, she also of Pasco, I should say. She was taken to Harborview Medical Center in Seattle. She was transferred out of intensive care this morning and is listed in satisfactory condition. The remaining 5 passengers in the 2 vehicles, ranging in age from 15 to 20 years old, were treated for non-life-threatening injuries at local hospitals. Well, for the second time in less than a week, a traffic warning sign was struck by a vehicle on Interstate 90 near Moses Lake. The Washington State Department of Transportation says a rental truck hit the truck-mounted directional sign Tuesday on the same stretch of freeway as last Thursday's accident. In that incident, a semi swerved to avoid another vehicle and hit a portable message sign. There were no injuries in either incident. The DOT said, quote, "We are grateful no one was hurt, but concerned about what is becoming a more frequent yet preventable occurrence," end quote. Well, Loretta Stover will address the opioid crisis in north central Washington at Wenatchee Rotary noon tomorrow at the Red Lion Hotel. Stover, the executive director at the Center for Alcohol and Drug Treatment in Wenatchee, will speak on putting the health epidemic and opioid crisis into perspective. Opioid deaths have increased 77% in Washington state through the last several years, with heroin and other narcotics contributing to recent deaths in both Chelan and Douglas counties. The program will be open to healthcare workers, police and safety officers, members of the public, and the media. Coming up next, Mission Ridge skiers are now offered access to several ski hills in 4 countries with one season pass ticket. Congresswoman Kim Schreier will hold her first Teletown Hall meeting. That's tonight. And reported crimes in Chelan County were up 1% in 2018, according to a report by the Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs. We'll have more on that. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
Schroeder, owner of East Wenatchee Mobile Storage.
If you're thinking about making a move anytime soon, check out the East Wenatchee Mini Storage brand new mobile storage service. They drop it off at your location, you pack it, and they pick it up and store it in their protected warehouse at East Wenatchee for as long as you need. When you're ready, they'll drop it off at your new home or office. East Wenatchee Mini Storage is excited to offer this brand new service to our region.
Call 509-884-8643 or find us on the web at ewministorage.com.
Welcome back. In another news, Mission Ridge skiers are now offered access to several ski hills in 4 countries with one season pass ticket. Mission Ridge has joined the Powder Alliance for the 2019-2020 winter season. Officials say the Powder Alliance is one of the world's most powerful reciprocal season pass programs, offering top-tier pass holders 3 days each at 19 premier winter destinations. Marketing Director Tony Hickok says the program offers pass holders up to 54 free days at some of the best ski resorts across the country. They include Schweitzer Mountain in Idaho, Mount Hood Ski Bowl in Oregon, White Pass, Bridger Bowl in Montana, and many others. The pass is also good at ski areas in Chile and Japan. Mission Ridge season pass holders will receive 3 days at all participating Powder Alliance resorts during non-holiday periods. Congresswoman Kim Schreier will hold her first Teletown Hall meeting. That's coming up tonight. The 8th District House Representative says the event will be live streamed on her Facebook page starting at 6 p.m. Schreier invites constituents to tune in for an update on what's happening in Congress and talk with her staff about any casework issues you might have. Participants were required to sign up on Schreier's website 1 hour prior to the 6 o'clock p.m. start. In other news, reported crimes in Chelan County were up 1% in 2018, according to a report by the Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs. There were 1,194 reported crimes in 2018, compared to 1,182 in 2017. The increase came mostly in simple assault cases, which went from 221 in 2017 up to 263 last year. Areas with fewer reported crimes include larceny, theft, and burglary. In Wenatchee, crime was up 6.4%, with aggravated assaults up from 38 in 2017 to 66 in 2018. Larceny, thefts, and fraud also increase. There were 2,179 crimes reported in Wenatchee for the year. Of those, 1,040 were cleared, the best clearance rate for cities of similar size in all of eastern Washington. Crime was up 5.4% in Douglas County, with burglary and stolen property crimes both increasing. Simple assault cases fell 12% in Douglas County. Crime overall fell by 1.2% in East Wenatchee, with drops in burglaries and frauds. There were 844 total crimes reported in East Wenatchee in the year 2018. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating has been serving North Central Washington for 34 years. Arctic provides the finest heating and cooling air quality products for residential and commercial customers, along with prompt and professional customer service. Arctic also offers specialty services like custom sheet metal fabrication of ductwork, coil cleaning, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Arctic is available for emergency calls 24/7. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine in style at Highlander Bar and Grill in East Wenatchee. Open 7 days a week, Highlander Grill offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Dine in or take it to go, our friendly staff is here to serve you. Reservations recommended for Friday night's prime rib dinner. Call for live music dates. Hi, I'm Shalane, site coordinator for Highlander Grill. Give me a call to schedule your event today.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor, naughty cat, poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
Being able to support yourself and your family is an important part of who we are. We all need to know we're able to provide ourselves with a secure future. Some job seekers have a harder time finding work. That's why Goodwill's Employment Connection Center is here, a free walk-in job search assistance program designed to help people find work. When you shop at or donate to Goodwill, you're really being a job creator, and that's a good thing for everyone's future. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. In tonight's feature story, NCWLIFE producer Caitlin Heddersheet takes a trip up to Lake Chelan to a hidden gem for car fanatics. Miller's Lake Chelan Auto Museum is on its second season of operation with more than 70 vehicles. For locals Leo and Polly Miller, the museum is a way to share memories and bring families together.
Yeah, my name is Leo Miller and my wife is Polly, and been married for approximately 60 years, and we decided to open a museum.
A tugboat operator on Lake Chelan, Leo transitioned to a career in the orchard business and real estate in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Throughout his time, Leo and Polly were collecting cars from auctions and local purchases.
Polly and I started collecting about 25 years ago. Cars, memorabilia, not so much that, but mostly cars. Spent a lot of time in Arizona. And at that time, we were always going to the auctions in the winter down there. And we were able to accumulate quite a few cars. And then where we were in Arizona, it worked out well because there was a lot of cars around. So,
with the help of his son Wade, his museum is gaining traction with visitors. Leo says they come from all over to share their memories.
I enjoy people. I enjoy their stories. I had a policeman, a detective out of Spokane last weekend, and he brought somebody, I forget who was with him, and there was 2 or 3 of them, and they came through. Here he was back the next day with these 2 young boys. And he was a very interesting person, and you find him every day. Everybody has that story though. But a lot of them like the memorabilia. Last year we had around 700 people. This year, I think we're already in the 400 and some, and we've only been open 3 weeks. We did have a boost from Austin Healey Club out of the Northwest in California, and they brought us approximately about 80 cars. Well, my favorite story is this red and white Pontiac, because Polly and I had one when we were married. I had one 3 years prior. I bought it in Arizona and brought it home, and that's kind of one of my favorites, I think, but they all are.
The museum is more than just shiny cars. Leo features neon signs, memorabilia, and even a plane from a drug raid.
The airplane's a 172, and I bought it from the FBI up in Omak, and it was flown in from somewhere up in Canada, and they ran out of fuel, or couldn't get the fuel to work properly, and they had to land, and of course they were gone. It was probably approximately, they said maybe 10 million in it. So.
Jay Witherby, a well-known Chelan local and now fire commissioner, says Leo and Polly reached out to see if he could help them develop a plan to keep the car museum open for generations. Operating on donations only, Jay is helping open the space for events.
I think Leo had mentioned earlier we did the Austin Healey Club for Cascade, from Vancouver to San Diego, had 160 people here. Served them a traditional bangers and mash and English pub lunch, which they just loved, and it's neat because it really does create memories. Yeah, I think it's the most memorable meeting place you could ever possibly hope for, and we go out of our way to make sure that we provide all the services, make it one call, one stop. We can cover it all for you, and thus far it's been very successful, and we're looking to build on that. We want this to be around generations from now.
With more than 70 cars and more on the way, Jay says this museum is unique to North Central Washington.
I don't believe there's anything like this in Central Washington. There is a big car museum that everyone's aware of in Tacoma, and this is kind of our version of it, Central Washington version. But there's a lot to offer here, just under 20,000 square feet of cars and memorabilia and stories. We love to share it, but very, very unique, and for a meeting space, for a venue, you won't find another one like this.
Tomorrow on the NCWLIFE Evening News, we're going to take a look at a new addition coming to the museum. I'm Caitlin Hedersheet, NCWLIFE News.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. And before we get to those details, let's take a peek outside our weather window today, looking down from Wenatchee Heights in our cross camera provided by Sky-Fi and LocalTel. Thank you for that, providing this beautiful shot of the Wenatchee Valley. A few high clouds out there today, but plenty of wind. We also saw a quick moving dry cold front move through, and that cooled us down about 10 degrees as we talked about earlier in the newscast. For many, felt awfully good out there today other than the wind, but the wind did die down throughout our late hours in the afternoon. It was windiest at around noontime, so tonight wind should continue to die down, and by the time we get in tomorrow, a very nice day for our Thursday. But today we were well below where we should be for this time of year. 89 is our normal high, 81 unofficially was our high this afternoon. Right where we should be as far as low temperatures go, though, at 63 degrees. Our record high going back to 1994, it was 105 degrees. Record low just a few years ago was 53. Doesn't sound all that cold, does it, back in 2014. We did pick up a trace of precipitation from all those thunder boomers around the area last night, but we're still stuck at 4.23 inches for the year. Sunrise this morning, 5:29, and the sun will set tonight at 8:45. Let's see how tomorrow shapes up now around North Central Washington, and we will see a warm-up as the cold front moves through, and that means high pressure building back in. Our warm spot as usual, Moses Lake tomorrow at 91 degrees. We'll see about 90 in Ephrata, upper 90 or 80s rather for Quincy and into Wenatchee. We get a little bit cooler as we move into higher elevations as we normally do. Lake Wenatchee tomorrow at 77 degrees, but a beautiful day if you're heading up to Slidewaters or Lake Chelan tomorrow at 88, and a beautiful day in Omak tomorrow as well at 89 degrees. Let's put that surface loop in motion now and show you the next 6 days. Tonight, clear skies. We'll see northwest winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. It will be cooler than we've seen the past past few days or so, with lows tonight dipping down into the middle 50s, some 40s in mountainous areas for overnight lows tonight. For Thursday, sunny, light winds and warmer. We talked about that. We'll jump back in to the mid and upper 80s throughout most of north central and eastern Washington. High pressure once again in the desert southwest is bringing all that warm air into Washington state. Friday, sunny and hot as well. But the difference for Friday, we could see a little bit of wind too. Out of the west, 10 to 15 miles an hour and gusting to about 20 for Friday. Not all that much wind, a lot like today, but we will see some breezy conditions Friday afternoon. Saturday, the winds die down and we will see clear skies as we head into our upcoming weekend. Saturday looks beautiful with highs in the upper 80s. A little bit warmer than that though as we get into Sunday. Once again, our orange colors turning darker, and that means warmer temperatures throughout, especially north central and eastern Washington. As we get into Monday, pretty much the same scenario for us, sunny and even a little bit warmer. We could see highs by Monday then in the upper 80s and back to around 90 degrees. There are areas of low pressure dotted throughout the west, but upper ridge of high pressure is so strong right now, it's dominating our weather picture and bringing us all of this warm weather. Let's take a look now at your quick lube and tune 7-day forecast. Tonight will drop down. I mentioned it's going to get a little bit cooler than we've seen lately at 55 degrees, 89 for your high tomorrow, all the way up to 93 on Friday. It should be a great way to end our week. And then another very weak cold front moves through on Saturday, cooling us down to 87 and sunny and warmer as we end the weekend on Sunday with a high then of 90 degrees. Sunny and hot Monday with 91 expected. And then by Tuesday, still the same weather pattern, sunny and warm with high temperatures then around 89 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
If you want to work in healthcare, choose the program that teaches the skills employers want. The Charter College Medical Assistant Program combines hands-on learning in the lab with convenient online learning, plus real-life experience with an externship. Classes start every 5 weeks, so you don't have to wait to launch your new career. Enroll with confidence, knowing Charter is institutionally accredited by the Accrediting Bureau of Health Education Schools, and be ready to work in less than a year. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
Are you watching me? If you're watching me and you are a business owner in North Central Washington, your potential customers could be seeing your TV commercial right now. With Solely on Broadcasting, TV advertising is effective and affordable. Place your ads on the network best suited to your potential customers, or get top-of-mind awareness with 16 cable networks, including NCWLIFE, your local TV channel. Give Solely on Broadcasting a call at 888-2020 today to see how easy and affordable it is to advertise on TV.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Wednesday to you. The North brought 14 men to the plate in a 9-run second inning. That's right, 9 runs. They coasted to a 14-1 win over the South in the West Coast League All-Star game last night. Ryan Altenberger of the Wenatchee Apple Sox was 2 for 4 at the plate with a 3-run home run in the 6th. He drove in 4 runs and scored twice. Sam Wyatt was efficient in his 1 inning on the mound, allowing no runs, 1 hit with 1 strikeout. Jake Som's inning included a run on 1 hit, no strikeouts or walks. The MVP of the game was Jack Mactoff of Bellingham. He had 4 hits for the North. Wenatchee, by the way, back at it in the second half of the season with the first of 3 games in Walla Walla tonight at Burlesque Stadium. 6:35 start time. Ryan Long will get the start for Wenatchee. The Sweets have not announced a starter for the game tonight. Also in league play in the West Coast League, it's Yakima Valley at Kelowna with that same start time at 6:35. Portland hosting Corvallis at 7:05. And a non-league game, Port Angeles hosts the Redmond Dudes at 6:35. Let's remind you where the Apple Sox are in the second half standings of the North Division of the West Coast League as they get back to it. First half winner Victoria first at 9-4. Wenatchee second at 8-4, a half game back. Yakima Valley sitting 2 games back and Port Angeles 2.5 out. So from here on, basically every series is a playoff series for the Apple Sox, needing to finish in the 1 or 2 spot in the second half to reach the playoffs. Speaking of the Apple Sox, we'll feature the home squad this Saturday here on the NCW Life channel. Wenatchee hosts the Portland Pickles, which will bring you live on the NCW Life channel Saturday with a pregame at 6:15, first pitch at 6:35. We'll also be back at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium the following Saturday to do our final broadcast as Wenatchee winds down the schedule with Yakima Valley in town. Again, that is Saturday, the 3rd of August. Going to Major League Baseball, Rougned Odor hit 2 of Texas's 4 home runs as the Rangers beat Seattle 7-2 last night at T-Mobile Park. Odor hit 1 of 3 Texas homers off a Seattle starter and former Wenatchee Apple Sox pitcher Tommy Malone. Malone lasted 6 innings, allowed 6 runs on 9 hits with 5 strikeouts. His record dropped to 1-5. Now today, Seattle won the rubber match of that 3-game series by downing the Rangers 5-2. Daniel Vogelbach led the way with 2 solo home runs off left-handed starter Mike Minor. He'd only hit 2 home runs of his 25 off of lefties so far this season. He's been doing some extra work in batting practice against a left-handed pitching machine, and he cranked 2 out today against left-handers. So kids, pay attention. Practice counts. On the mound, Mike Leake was impressive yet again. He didn't nearly get a perfect game like he did last Friday, but he did get the victory to improve to 9-8. He went 7 innings, allowed 3 runs on 9 hits with 7 strikeouts. Roenis Elias worked the 9th for his 13th save of the season, getting 2 ground balls and a flyout against 3 batters. So a perfect 9th for Elias. It's interesting that both Mike Leake and Roenis Elias would be on the bookends of a win today for the Mariners as the trade deadline comes on July 31st. They're talking about both of those players possibly being with other teams here in a little over a week. The Mariners now welcome Detroit into town for the first of a 4-game series tomorrow night at 7:10. It'll be Drew Verhagen going for the Tigers. Mariners have not announced their starter for tomorrow night. Also in the American League West last night, Ramon Laureano's ground rule double scored Mark Canha in the top of the 11th inning, and Oakland edged Houston 4-3. Mike Trout homered and Cole Calhoun drove in 2 runs as the Angels topped the Dodgers in a battle of Los Angeles teams by a final of 5-4. There you see the updated standings, by the way, including today's win for the Mariners, still 24 games out of first place. Sayonara. That's sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. Also, keep it right here on the NCW Life channel tomorrow morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with guest host Eric Granstrom. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.
NCW Life channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's learn. Guada TV. Street Talk and other stuff. The 12th District. Life with Lisa. And the Arbiter of Stoke. NCW Life channel is your local TV station.
Only One Dealer dealership in Wenatchee has Motor Trend's SUV of the Year and Truck of the Year. That's right, Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram has the all-new Jeep Wrangler and the all-new Ram 1500 pickup. Or get the best of both worlds in the new Jeep Gladiator. Visit Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram today for more information on these award winners and see why there's no reason to leave town to buy your next vehicle.
But yes, we are live from Studio 2. I am Dan Koontz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We got news, we got sports, we got weather, we got obscure holiday, today in history, birthdays. Tom Potter joins me in studio. How are you? And Rod Cool is my guest today. Expert is Bonnie Orr. We're broadcasting live from Studio 4, from Studio 2, Studio 7 here in downtown Wenatchee. Time for the obscure holiday of the day. Your Dog to Work Day, Beautician's Day. It's National Selfie Day, and in honor of National Selfie Day, I'm going to take a picture of myself.
Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, mornings at 7 o'clock on the NCWLIFE channel.